We all know the cost of everything has gone up, the cost of medicines have gone up, the cost of transportation has also gone up. So, in addition, coming now to the Pen Plus project, looking at conditions like sickle cell disease in children, type 1 diabetes, rheumatic heart disease, congenital heart disease, and severe asthma. These are primarily conditions which affect young children, and these are lifelong conditions. Imagine being diagnosed with sickle cell disease as an infant. You're going to live with sickle cell disease for the rest of your life. So you need to be able to access treatment and care at a cost that, one, is accessible to you, and it's also affordable to your family. And really, if you do have these conditions, they should not compromise your education. They should not compromise your opportunity to live to adulthood and to actually contribute to nation building and also have a career. So basically what Pen Plus is doing is focusing on sickle cell disease in addition to type 1 diabetes and these other conditions which primarily affect children, especially children in vulnerable situations. Firstly, by developing a model clinic to train their healthcare providers, again, working with clinical officers and nurses, and also pharmaceutical technologists, nutritionists, and laboratory technologists, for them to understand these conditions. How are they diagnosed? How should these conditions be treated? And how can we provide optimal care to these children so that they have a chance of growing up to be teenagers, to be young adults, and to also contribute to the economy, as I've said. So at Hamisi Sub-County Hospital in Vihiga County, we have established a model clinic which is actually providing treatment and care for sickle cell disease, type 1 diabetes, rheumatic heart disease, congenital heart disease, and asthma for children living in the vicinity. At the moment, we're getting children from the surrounding counties, from Kakamega, even Bungoma, from Siaya, some are coming from Kisumu. We're able to provide the diagnosis and the treatment that these children require at no cost to the children themselves. We're also able, we've had a sustainable supply of hydroxyurea in the clinic, and this has actually drawn a large number of families from the surrounding areas to access this optimal treatment for sickle cell disease. In addition to this, we have point-of-care tests which enable us to diagnose people, to screen persons living with sickle cell disease or thought to have sickle cell disease. And we're also arranged for confirmatory tests. We're working with Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, who are able to provide the confirmatory tests for sickle cell disease. So essentially what we're trying to do is to provide a model for optimal treatment and care for sickle cell disease and these other childhood diseases. So in addition, it is important to know that sickle cell disease and these other childhood diseases, there's an issue of diagnosis, there's an issue of the medicines that is required, but there's an issue of educating the families and the persons living with these conditions of how to better manage themselves. Imagine you're living with a condition for the rest of your life. You don't need to go to the hospital every day, but you definitely need to go on a regular basis to be monitored. But how can we teach you how to manage yourself? So this is a key component of these programs that we're running, to educate the family, the parents, the caregivers, and even the children on how to better manage their conditions. One, understand your condition. Two, understand what are the important things you need to know about. What are the danger signs that mean that you need to go at once to the hospital. In addition, issues of physical activity, issues of nutrition, the diet that you eat is very key, especially for sickle cell disease.
Currently, the burden is increasing in Kisii County. At now, we have about 295 people living with sickle cell disease in our clinic situated at Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital. And as NCDAC has talked about a project called Sickle Cell After the PT project, which has also brought that component in Kisii County the past 2 months. We've done a number of screenings of under 1 year olds, that is infants, and our positivity rate is increasing, and that is giving us a wake-up call. 14% of the patients who are screened were noted to have sickle cell trait, and 4% had sickle cell disease. Having that in mind, this gives us an opportunity to have a discussion with the community for early screening and discuss with the government. As a government, the good thing is there is a buy-in to increase management of sickle cell, improve on it in terms of drugs and diagnostics. So after the screening is done, we are able to do confirmatory tests still at Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital. We welcome the community to increase awareness and know their situation so that we can reduce the numbers. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Elizabeth Onyango. I work with the Ministry of Health in the Division of Non-Communicable Diseases. In Swahili, we say idara ya magonjwa yasiyoambukiza. So today we are marking the World Sickle Cell Day. This day is very important for us, like other World Health Days. It's an opportunity, it's a day where we take advantage and create awareness on this condition. This year we have chosen to have it commemorated in Kisii County. Kisii County is one of the high-burden counties in the country for this condition. We've mentioned we have the western region and the coastal region. But the way people migrate, the way people intermarry, we are finding that more and more sickle cell disease are being identified in other regions as well. So for us at the ministry, it is important that we enhance policies, we come up with policies that enhance early screening for the condition, early diagnosis, early treatment, and to avoid complications. We know that children and every other person has a right to access the highest possible quality of care. And quality of care, not necessarily health care, but we want the children to be able to achieve and realize their potential, be able to go to school without worrying about this condition. And so that is why we are committed that we will ensure that we have policies in place that will advance access to these services. How are we doing it? We have partnered with a number of organizations. We have the Kenya Hemophilia Association, we have the Kenya Sickle Cell Federation, we have the NCD Alliance, which is very good in advocacy and education campaign and awareness. And we also have the counties, because service delivery is done at the counties. We want to ensure that we build and also amplify, and a number of organizations that I will not have mentioned. We want to ensure that healthcare providers, wale ambao wanapea huduma katika vituo vyetu vya afya, they are well trained, they are educated enough, they have, so that they have the skills to be able to provide services concerning sickle cell. They are able to screen, they are able to identify these children early, and they are able to identify any person with sickle cell early and put on treatment and refer where possible. We have the premarital counseling, where we want to ensure that couples who are carriers may make decisions and know what they are getting into, but the ultimate goal is to reduce the number of children who are born with sickle cell. And
Dr. Ware, from where you sit, can you give us a sneak review into the statistics of people suffering from sickle cell?
What we know is that every year approximately 14,000 babies are born with sickle cell in this country, but the number would even be more than that. We need to really do a survey to get the real statistics for that, but the number could be more than 14,000.
The Ministry of Health has not been able to provide a survey to help the statistics.
We have...
And then that was to put the government is not doing enough to address this issue.
The government is doing a lot to be able to address this. We have organizations, different research institutions, and even universities that keep conducting the surveillance for these conditions. We are in the process of establishing a registry so that we are able to know the exact number of people who have these conditions. This is an ongoing process. We can't say that the government is not doing enough. The government is doing more than enough, and that is why we are also here. We have some projects that are in place, and part of that project is to collect statistics, enough and quality statistics, accurate statistics, so that at every point we know who is this who has sickle cell and how can they access treatment. Data is collected on an ongoing basis. There's no stop to it. Yes, so we try as much as possible to advocate for resource allocation towards all conditions, including sickle cell disease. And even sickle cell has been factored in the social health insurance fund. So that is a great step.
Yes, yes.
So my name is Eunice Ovino. I am a sickle cell patient, 43 years young, living with sickle cell positively. I do advocacy for sickle cell disease, and for me this is a time where we appreciate actually seeing a lot of focus around sickle cell. The journey I started 10 years ago has made now our voices are being heard, and that's why we are here today. Because if we were not making the noise to the right people, to the right ears, patients' voices won't be heard. And I'm happy that right now you can walk to the Kisii referral and you'll get your sickle cell status tested. And watu wangu tafadhali, sickle cell si uchawi, si umerogwa. It's just a disease like any other. You see how beautiful I am? It's because sickle cell has never defined me. So disease should never define you, and you should not be discriminated because you're living with sickle cell. There are so many patients who are here and they're doing advocacy. That's what we do every single day. So for if you want to contact us, you can use any of the partners, especially the Sickle Cell Federation of Kenya, where we have collected all our voices to speak with one voice. Asante.
Right, so my name is Sam Bunya. I'm an advocacy relations consultant with AMPATH, the academic model providing access to health. So AMPATH is also a collaborating partner with the Ministry of Health and NCDAC, which is the Non-Communicable Disease Alliance of Kenya, and with the Memorandum of Understanding which was launched around a year ago, which is called the AFIA the BT. We are also relaunching it today to earmark the work that we have done. At the end of the day, yes, finances is a little bit of a concern, but partners are willing to continue supporting, and we ensure that sustainability in terms of access to medicines and services is one of the key components to ensure that patients living with sickle cell receive the appropriate care. Other than that, we like to thank you all for coming, the media as well, for capturing this. I think we are moving forward for sickle cell disease. It has been a neglected disease for many, many years, and we've known that sickle cell has been in Africa for the past 100+ years. So even so, we actually have a patient living with sickle cell here, the oldest patient in the country. He's actually in his late 70s, and his name is Mogaka. So I think we want to demystify the issue around sickle cell disease. The patients live at 18 years, but as we've seen, we have a 43-year-old
tafadhali tunaomba muwe tayari, tusimame juu our band.
We wish to ensure that you know your sickle cell status so that you make the informed decision around sickle cell disease. Thank you.
Those that are suffering from this disease, that as a county government and the Department of Health, we are equal to the task. We have specialists trained specifically to handle this disease across our facilities in the county, and therefore we are asking those who are fighting this disease to reach out to our specialists in our facilities so that they can be treated. We have equipment, we have drugs that are necessary in fighting this particular disease. Kwa hivyo wananchi wote wa Kisii tunawasihi msiweke wagonjwa kama nyumba zenu. Tafadhali muende kwa hizo vituo vyetu vya afya muweze kuhudumiwa mapema, kwa sababu sisi tunasema kwamba mapema ni best. Ugonjwa ukijulikana mapema bila shaka utatibiwa. Kwa hivyo tunawasihi mufanye vile nimesema, muitikie wito wetu, ufike pale, madaktari wetu wako under instructions kuhakikisha kwamba wagonjwa wa aina yoyote isipokuwa hata kama ni ugonjwa wowote wahudumie watu wetu waweze kupona. We have the commitment as the county government of Kisii. We have that will, and we want to assure you, members of public and the Kisii County fraternity, that we are equal to the task and we are ready to work with you very closely in the fight against any disease that is afflicting our people in the county. So as a minister in charge of health, sisi tuko imara, we are vigilant, we are on the watch out. Please wacha sisi kama wakisii tufanye kazi pamoja kama government ya Kisii. Gavana wetu Paul Simbarati yeye ako tayari. Mikakati vile tunasema kila mara, tumeweka mikakati kabambe kuhakikisha kwamba watu wetu wa Kisii wamehudumiwa. Na zile ahadi zote ambazo tulitoa kama serikali tumeanza kuzitekeleza. Maendeleo yameanza kuonekana kila mahali. Wacha tushikane mikono, kwa sababu tukifanya hivyo bila shaka tutapiga hatua kubwa kama wa Kisii ili tuweze kuhakikisha kwamba watu wetu wamenufaika katika hizo miradi zote ambazo tumeanza kwa kaunti yetu ya Kisii. Kwa hivyo kwa wakati wa leo nawaomba waje tushirikiane pamoja, tuwaombee wale ambao ni wagonjwa, tuwapatie hope, because we must give them hope that they can always get better if they are ready and willing to fight this menace. Asante sana ndugu zangu, na mkuwe na mchana mwema. Mimi kama waziri wa afya sijapata, kwa sababu ofisi zetu ziko wazi. Sisi juzi tumetuma madaktari wetu kwa vituo vyote 161 vya afya kuenda kuona kama kuna kituo kiko na madawa mingi ambayo hayatumiki. Tumefanya kitu tunaitanga redistribution of drugs. Hiyo madaktari wetu wametembea hospitali zote, wamefanya redistribution. Kama kuna ile kuna madawa mengi na ile ambayo imepungua, zimefanya redistribution, na bado order tumeweka za madawa. Kwa hivyo mimi sijapata malalamiko yote kutoka kwa wananchi kwamba kuna madawa ambayo yamekosa katika hospitali. Na kama kuna yoyote ambayo kuna hiyo malalamiko, tafadhali kuja kwa ofisi yangu pale ama kwa kituo chochote cha afya ili uweze kuregister hiyo malalamiko yako, otherwise tuko imara.
My name is Enoch Unyancha Mugaka, and I was born in 1960, June 25th, Kindu Hospital. Kuanzia miaka 3-4 nikaanza kugonjeka. Naenda wiki moja na gonjeka, miguu, joints zinaniuma, nalia, nasumbua wasasi. Kufika tunaenda hospitali dispensary Nyamira, kwangu kwetu ni Nyamira huko. Tulikuwa tunaishi Nyamira. Sasa tulikuwa tunaenda hospitali ya Nyamira. Legi ulali 2 weeks na gonjeka 2 weeks na gonjeka 1 week na gonjeka, lakini ikafika 1968 nikawa admitted Kisii General. 1968 ni kitambo, nilikuwa admitted General Hospital, ndio wakasema huyu mtoto wako na ugonjwa ya sickle cell. Nobody could understand sickle cell ni ugonjwa gani, lakini walisema ugonjwa ya mtoto ni sickle cell. Sasa vile walisema ni sickle cell, kuanzia hapa wakaanza kutreat vile wanajua sickle cell, lakini sikupona. So for the rest of my life nimekuwa nikigonjeka. Siwezi enda miezi 3 bila kugonjeka, and very serious and very painful. Saa ingine nafura kwa joints na vimba kabisa, na tena polepole inatoka inapona. Nikipona na kuwa active kama mtoto yoyote, lakini tena kidogo tena 1 week kama 2-3 4 tena nagonjeka. Zamani ilikuwa very much regular than these days. These days inaenda kitambo kidogo, lakini zamani ilikuwa ikiendelea sana. Lakini Mungu ni mzuri, nilienda shule Nyamira Primary, nikasoma hapo, lakini nafika kwa shule saa nyingine vizuri, kufika saa 4 napata attack, na hiyo attack ni very severe. Hiyo attack inakuwa mbaya, hata nashindwa kutembea. Watoto wengine wanatafuta, wananichukua, wananibeba, wananichukua nyumbani, wazazi wananichukua hospitali. Hospitali yangu ilikuwa Kindu Hospital, Nyamira and Kisii Rivaro. Ilikuwa Kisii District Hospital, ndio ilikuwa hospitali kubwa hapa kwetu. Sasa nilikuwa na operate Kindu, Kisii, Nyamira dispensary mara kwa mara tu, lakini kupona hakuna. Sasa tukaanza kuzoea ati ni ugonjwa ya sickle cell, ni ugonjwa ya sickle cell. Sickle cell ni ugonjwa gani? Ni ugonjwa ya damu, ni ugonjwa ya joints. Inaendelea namna hiyo mpaka wakati huu. Sasa Mungu amenisaidia, ikafika tuseme, ikasema 2000 ama tuseme 1985 hivi, miguu ikaharibika kabisa na ikanisumbua. Kufika 1990 nimeshindwa kutembea, alafu kufika 2006 nikashindwa kutembea, joints ikakuwa mbaya zote mbili, hip joints. Alafu watu wakakuja together, watu wetu na kanisa na wengine wakanisaidia kwa mchango, nikaenda India nikafanyiwa hip joint replacement. Wakati nilifanyiwa hiyo hip joint replacement, nilitembea kidogo, nikaanza kutembea bila hata hizi fimbo, nikatembea sema 2-3 years, tena ikaanza ile. Nilifanyiwa joint moja, sikufanyiwa joint nyingine sababu pesa ilikuwa kidogo, ilikuwa tuseme 1 nilitumia 1 kitu kama 1.6 joint moja. Joint nyingine ilikuwa tena inataka pesa, sikuwa na hizo pesa, ndio nikatoka India nikakuja nyumbani. Sasa hiyo joint nyingine ndio inanisumbua sana, na tena hata imeanza kuharibu ingine. Lakini siku hizi nimeanza hata mgongo, joints za mikono inanisumbua, inaendelea hivyo tu mpaka saa hii. Mgongo ndio inanisumbua sana, hata ndio sababu nakuwa na hizi fimbo mbili, sababu hiyo mgongo inanifanya nakosa balance. Kusimama bila hii simamivo nitaweza kusikia kama naanguka. Sasa
labda la kumalizia, labda kuna wakati ulikuwa nadhani labda ni uchawi ama mazingira.
Zamani watu walikuwa nasema ni uchawi, watu walikuwa nasema ni cherasi, watu wamefanya cherasi kwa wazazi. Nikasumbuka hivyo, na tena unajua sikuwa peke yangu, tulikuwa tunasumbuka na my sister. So tulikuwa wawili. Sasa my father was a businessman. Watu wengine walikuwa nadhania ni uchawi ni nini, lakini madaktari wali maintain, wakasema hii ugonjwa ni ugonjwa ya sickle cell, na tena iko hivyo, na tena iko hivyo, inaweza shika watoto wawili ama mmoja ama wawili watatu, lakini hii tunaona ni sickle cell. Sasa na uzuri or good luck, my parents were Christians na walikuwa hawakuzingatia sana mambo ya uchawi. Namba tu hii ugonjwa management yake ni ngumu, lakini nashukuru wazazi wangu na jamii yangu, my sisters and brothers, they were merciful, walikuwa wanatusaidia. Tuseme sasa kama weta hii ndio mzuri kwangu, ile yenye iko na choto. Sasa nyumbani nataka moto, nataka kuota, nataka baridi. Sasa baba yangu na mama walikuwa wananisaidia sana, nawaambia wakuwe na courage, sababu nimeona watu wengi hata kama sio sickle cell, mtu anagonjeka ana lose hope. Hiyo ni vibaya sana, sababu losing hope zingine tena ina accelerate ugonjwa. Kitu nataka wafanye wale wagonjwa ni kutokuwa na uoga wowote, sababu hii ugonjwa hata madaktari wanasema inaandikwa kwa vitabu eti mtu haikaa miaka mingi, lakini nimekaa na tena sikuwa naogopa. Nilikuwa tu na girl on, nilikuwa na ujasiri, nilikuwa nasema wacha tuendelee na maisha. Hata shule kama singekuwa na hiyo nini kabisa courage ya kutosha, singeenda shule, sababu saa nyingine unaenda shule ukiwa na pains kidogo, lakini unajilazimisha unaenda shule. So courage ndio mzuri. Bana, dawa ni ngumu kupata. Kama hii zingine ilikuja juzi inaitwa hydroxyurea haipatikani, lakini mimi nilikuwa natumia Marera Queen, natumia pain killers, masindano ya pain killers. Nilikuwa tu naenda kwa dispensary hapo Nyamira mpaka ikakuwa hospitali kubwa. Hata sasa hivi naenda Nyamira ya hospitali ama kwa kliniki yoyote napewa madawa, lakini sana ni madawa ya pain ndio napewa. Insurance NHIF